this virtual reality is much bigger than we are currently decoding, because the part of the virtual reality that we decode is visible light, which is so tiny it's ridiculous. There is vast areas, like 95% and more of this universe, this virtual reality universe, that they call dark matter, dark energy, and various other names, that are not dark at all. If you went into those realms of reality, it wouldn't be pitch black. They only call it dark because it's outside of what we call visible light. If we were in those areas of dark energy, we'd still be able to see it would be a reality, because we'd be decoding it into that reality. And we once, I'm absolutely convinced as I've looked at this, we once, before an intervention, which is behind this control system, used to decode a much greater frequency range of this virtual reality universe.
We used to be able to do this.
Oh yeah.
So before the Atlantean times.
Well, before I would suggest this reptilian intervention came, and I'll tell you what I feel. You know, in China, they can't access vast amounts of the internet because it's firewalled off by the authorities, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's the reality that we're experiencing, and people talk about dimensions and densities, and yeah, all that stuff. But what decides the range of frequency that we decode into a apparent world is not the world itself. It's the receiver decoder, right?
Yeah.
It's us that decide, and the body computer system that decides how wide the frequency range of our reality is. And if you mess with it, mess with the body computer genetically, and you look at all these ancient texts and legends all over the world about the manipulation of the human form and the fall of man. The fall of man, right? Or the fall of humanity. Politically correct, you see. The fall of humanity. And look at the Bible. What's the symbolic, I would say more than symbolic, perpetrator of the fall of man? The serpent. The serpent is the oldest form by far of any worship. It's been tracked back 70,000 years so far. And you look at books that have researched serpent worship around the world, and they say the same. It is not only the oldest form of religious worship, it is the most prevalent, all-universal form of worship all over the world, if you go far enough back. And these reptilian entities that I would strongly suggest are behind this whole control system, were perceived by the ancients as gods because they had abilities to do things that they couldn't do, and so they became the center of worship. And what I suggest, and I'm writing a new book at the moment, which is, if people think what I've written so far is like far out and are crazy, well, they should read this bugger. I'm not talking about the content at the moment because there's a few dots I want to bring it all out as one unit. But I've realized how they've done this very clearly. What they've done is hacked in to the virtual reality universe, which includes all the dark matter and dark energy and all of the universe. Okay. And they have isolated us into a tiny fraction of that virtual reality universe. In even more than symbolic terms, the very theme of it is exactly the same as firewalling off the internet in China, so the internet that we can access, the Chinese computers cannot access. Well, they've done that to humanity.